Hi, my name is Cheryl Dorsey. I am creator and founder of You're More Than Their Mother, and I teach entrepreneurial moms to reclaim, realign, and rebalance their lives and go after their dreams. So today I am talking about being a good steward over what you have. So this topic is really near and dear to me because literally probably for about the last 2 years, I have been praying this same prayer, to be a good steward over what I have. And it's really brought up so many different emotions and so many different awarenesses that I didn't realize were, number one, even there, and two, I didn't realize that I wasn't taking care of it. I wasn't acknowledging it. And therefore, I really wasn't being grateful for what it was that I had already. Yet, in the past, I had just been asking for an increase on it. Literally from being health, finances, my business, all of that kind of stuff. So I learned a while ago that if I take care of what it is that I have right now, it will multiply. So specifically, what am I talking about here, or how can I get more specific? So as usual, I'll talk about it from a two-pronged approach, and let's talk about it personally. So personally, in terms of finances, I had a huge, when I left Chicago and moved out here to Texas 5 years ago, a little bit over 5 years ago now, I left everything really that I knew. I really left a comfortable life, if you will. I left homes there. I left income properties is what I'm trying to say. I left income properties. We left a 6-figure salary. I left a side hustle, I like to call it, because I used to do taxes there. I did people's resume when we had to fax them and stuff like that, and did emails and stuff like that. And I even assisted in writing grants. So I would get money here and there as well. But I was a stay-at-home mom, full time. So I left all of that, all of my networks, all of my contacts. I didn't really know how to be in business for myself, but I led a pretty comfortable life financially. So I had a few things in order for me that were going very well, and I was doing what I consider taking it for granted and didn't even know it. So money was flowing to me very, very well and very easily. I was married to the man of my dreams, right? And I had a healthy family. Everything was going well. So I wasn't paying attention to it. I simply was spending the money, enjoying time with my family. Don't get me wrong. I don't think that I used them or anything like that, but I took for granted the fact that they were always be there. I knew everything was fine with them. We're okay. I can buy whatever it is pretty much that I want. Everything is well. Well, when I came to Texas and I literally dropped that reality to step out on my dreams, because although we had all of those wonderful things, we weren't doing what we loved. And we knew that we could make money and do what we love. We knew we could leverage our gifts, talents, abilities, and purpose. So when I got here to Texas, everything that I thought I knew was gone. Right? In terms of financial stability, I still had that wonderful man of my dreams, but our routine, my relationship with him was a little bit different because we had a different circumstance. So it brought up a different way of being for us, right? Things we didn't have to think about before. We had to pay really good attention to simple things like literally groceries. I didn't necessarily have a budget when I was in Chicago. I knew that the money was there. I bought what I want. I knew not to spend past something, but I didn't know how to set a financial plan around what it was that I wanted. It was something I didn't learn when I was younger, right? And I don't blame anybody. It's just what it was. What I believe though now is I'm an adult. It's my responsibility. If this is what I want, I have to go out and educate myself on what it is that needs to be done in order to make what I want happen. Well, while that was an idea in Chicago, I had all the resources and things around me that I wanted, so it wasn't a priority. So I didn't do it. Well, when I came to Texas and I removed everything because we left everything voluntarily, right? When I removed all of those external things, all I was left with were the discipline, habits, and knowledge in my mind to start over. Well, what I learned is that I had not been a good steward over what I had in the past. So right now with so the things that I had right now, or at that time, I didn't know how to manage. I didn't know how to take care of. I didn't know how to, I just bottom line didn't know how to take care of it in terms of allowing it to grow, right? I didn't know the things to do. So what I began to do, then money became thin. It really became really thin. Like I said, I mean, we went from literally hand to mouth to having to, at one point, get financial assistance. And that was really, really very humbling for me, because I came from a whole different background, right? But I had to learn how to start over and really start over and learn how to ask for help. So what happened to me is, when I created that situation, because as you know, I truly believe that we are co-creators in our existence. As I created that situation, number one, of course, I didn't know it would look like that. But number two, what I realized in looking back, hindsight now, is I had to go, or I chose to create that situation subconsciously, because I needed to understand what it meant to take care of what it was that I had in order for it to grow. I didn't have money just flowing in, any kind of overflow. I had to watch every dollar that came in my home. So it taught me the art of budgeting. It taught me the art of saving. It taught me the art of investing. It taught me the art of value. And it taught me the art of investment. I learned all those things while I had the least amount of money. When I had plenty of money, I didn't do that. I didn't know that, because it wasn't a concern for me. And looking back, now to me, it seems so obvious that that's something I should have been doing. I wasn't. And if you know me, then you know that I'm not hard on myself. I'm not angry about that. I look at everything as a lesson learned. So with that being said, fast forward to a few years ago, when the most challenging, I'm so glad that you understand what I'm saying. I see those hearts. Fast forward though to a few years ago, like I said, some of the most challenging financial times for me were during that time. I don't know. Tongue tie here. Was during that time. Well, it was during that time. Hindsight is 2020. Oh yes, it is. Well, it was during that time that everything that I had, at first I was asking, oh goodness, I was in communion with Spirit, and I used to always say, help me to be wise enough to create the things that I want. Give me the wisdom, give me the knowledge. These are some of the words and expressions I was using in my prayer. And it really wasn't until I sat down in meditation one day, and it came to me that I needed to be a good steward over what I had right then at that moment. So the $2 that I had to rub together, I needed to make sure that I took good care of those $2, managed it effectively, spent my quarter on this, spent a quarter on that, right? Spent a quarter on the kids, spent a quarter saving, spent a quarter investing, spent this much donating. Whatever it was that I chose to do, whatever philosophy it is that I had, I needed to make sure that I remained committed to that. Yes, committed to that, so that I could grow what it was that I said I wanted, which was finances at that time. So when I became disciplined and began to take good care of what it was that I had, and guess what? Before I go any further, when I started to do that and became more disciplined and became more of a good steward over what it was that I had, it highlighted for me more the opportunity to be grateful. Because every time that I saw or knew I had the potential to do something else, it made me grateful, because I knew that it could be a whole lot different. I knew that I had been through something a whole lot different. So I knew that that was an opportunity for me to grow, an opportunity for me to change what it is that, to change what my reality looked like. And I'm telling you, every single month, it increased. And I shared with you all, many videos before. It's increased now to what I consider, I don't even know. Sometimes it just really makes me want to weep, because never could I have imagined hitting my first financial goal of $10,000 a month in my business. It just really is overwhelming. And I know that that came through the discipline of being a good steward over what I had. And you know that I truly believe that how you do anything is how you do everything. So when I made that concentrated effort to be a good steward over my finances, it taught me, and I instantly or seamlessly went into being a good steward over my family. I went into being a good steward over my health. I went into being a good steward over my time. It was really, really amazing. I stopped and appreciated more my children, my husband. I took for granted my husband, Gerald, has been in my life since I was 16 and he was 17. And really, you all, he's like fine wine. He just gets better with time. So I just love being in relationship with him. But I don't ever want to take that for granted because he's making a choice to love me the way that he does. So I want to be a good steward over that in terms of being his wife. I want to be a good steward over that in terms of letting him know that I appreciate him. I want to be a good steward over that by the things it is that I do for him. In terms of my children, the same thing. They're healthy. They're what I prayed for when I was pregnant and having children. So I wanted to be a good steward over that. Me being a good steward over my children, what it does in turn to them is it empowers them with self-confidence. Right? And if they have more self-confidence, we're talking about a boost of self-esteem because they know and understand that I have two parents, or I have a parent, in this case, talking about me specifically. I have a parent who loves me. I have a parent who vocalizes that and lets me know. I have a parent who incorporates me in every facet of our lives, from finances to food, right? From budgeting, she's investing in me. And so not only do they see that, but they feel that. Because as you know, I believe that words don't teach. We teach through the clarity of our example. So I gave them an example of how it is, or I am giving them, because I'm not done being their mom and they're still in our home. But I truly am giving them an example over how to take care of themselves first, which is being a good steward, and allowing everything else to follow. So I hope that makes sense. Tracy, you bounced out some questions there, and I saw you said a couple of the questions you said. Do you mind repeating those? One was I heard you say I saw that you say I'm struggling with that right now. Struggling with what? Tell me a little bit more about that. I'll give you a second there while you type. I feel guilty about my time management and my children. Oh, Sandy, I have been there. I'm telling you, I have been there. It's exciting. And Tracy, okay, you said, what was your first step? Tell me, what was my first step to what? My first step to being a good steward over what it is that I have? I know I threw out a couple of stories there. So what was my first step? At what point? Tell me what it is that you mean. In the meantime, Sandy, I'm telling you, I have been there. I'm actually now revamping my website. I'm going to relaunch it because that is one of the biggest things I find with women who I talk to and who I work with. They are always going through some of the biggest things that they tell me about are guilt, time management, and fear. Those are some of the biggest things that hold them back or hold them hostage, is what I like to call it, to where they are right now. Yes, I want to know the first step too. The first step to what? To being a good steward? Let me just assume that that's what it is that you mean, Tracy. I don't know if you're really in a position to type. The first step to put into action rather than just thoughts. It's really like Nike. It's real to being a good steward. The first step to putting it in action is really like Nike. You have to just do it. So financially, yes. So specifically, what it was that I did in terms of finances, just do it. Yes, it is. So what it was in terms of finances that I did, I'm trying to see, was the first thing I did was created a list. I think it was a list or spreadsheet, whatever it is you want to call it. The first thing I did was created a list of everything it was that I needed to pay, literally from people that I owed to my monthly things it is that had to be paid out, right? And then I wrote down the money that I had coming in. And then I assigned a certain amount to each one, right? So if it was from groceries to water bill to phone bill to light bill, things like that. And then I assigned an amount that was due to that. No matter what, I held on to some of it for myself. Now, to be honest, I can't give you a percentage on that because I don't know if it was a percentage, because money was fluctuating so much at that time. It was really about what it was that was feasible for that month. I didn't have this, I didn't get to the point where I was able to do a certain percentage until a few months down the line, because then I was counting on regular income. So at first it was just tidbits, me getting a little bit of money here, doing a contract, or doing a little bit of money there, or, oh, I got a speaking engagement here. It was really rough. So I didn't get to the point where I was able to assign a routine amount every month. So what I did was just simply made a decision. It said, okay, I have $1,000. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. You always have to allow something for yourself. Otherwise, what happens is you become deflated and you begin to feel defeated, right? Because you feel like I'm doing all of this work, and not only am I not meeting my financial responsibilities, but I also don't have anything for myself. So even if it was just something, yes, I feel guilty spending on myself. Well, Tracy, let me tell you something. You know, I now have hit the 40s club. And so one of my favorite things about that is my loving transparency and my loving directness that I have about that. So that I have at this age, I'm sorry. So with what you said, you feel guilty about spending. Let me tell you something. That is a choice that you are feeling guilty. At some point, you're going to have to say, I choose not to feel guilty about this. I'm doing this and I'm happy about it. I'm grateful that I get to spend on myself. I'm grateful that I am choosing to take care of me first, because I know that taking care of me will allow me to be a better person for my family and, again, for the world at large. Okay? But yes, you do feel better. Oh, good. Yes, you do feel better when you have just a little something for yourself. And the other really huge thing, and I can give you, specific steps. We can talk about that a little bit more. But let me tell you another huge point that is really shifting for you. What kinds of things would you use it for? I'll get into that in 1 second, Tracy. Got you. But let me tell you another huge point about, oh, goodness. I lost my train of thought with that. So Tracy, you said what is it that I would use it for? Sometimes I use it to get my nails done. Sometimes I use it to go and eat. Sometimes I use it to go out for drinks with a girlfriend, right? Or to just meet up and have lunch with a friend of mine, whatever it is that I wanted. Or sometimes I wouldn't spend it at all, but it was mine. I would not spend it at all on my children. I just didn't do that. I choose to allow many hair, though, get done every 2 weeks, and pedicures. Absolutely. You have to have something for yourself, period. Otherwise, you just don't stay in a space where, yes, I choose to have for myself your hair and pedicure. Now, you all know I'm definitely a girl. I refuse to show you my nails now because they need to be done, and I'm headed there in a minute, but I absolutely agree with that. That's just something that I'm going to do. But once you make that resolve, again, I'm telling you all that you begin to see resources that you didn't even know was there, and opportunities. Because I just have a thing where I've come to the point where I have made a decision that, let me put it like this. I told you all that this year, 2016, my personal and business mantra have merged, and it's simply, let's get this money. Right? And I say that to me unabashedly because for a very long time, I didn't want to admit I felt that way. I enjoy having money. I enjoy having financial freedom. I enjoy doing what I want, when I want, however many times I want to do it. And I want to do more of that. So in order to do that, I know that I need to give money. I know that I need to have money. That's the currency. That's what it is you exchange in order to have these things. Well, in order for me to have those things, I need to be leveraging the business it is that I have in order to do that. In order to be in business, I need to be doing what I love, because that's the only way I'll be in business. So it's such a gift that I get to give my gift, solve problems, people pay me for it, and in return, I get money. It is so beautiful and so amazing. And I get so, again, full from that because I feel like I get the opportunity. All I'm doing is sharing what I love. And not only are they saying not only are they grateful and in gratitude for it and saying thank you, but they pay me for helping them to solve their problem. Well, all of that goes into my equation. while I'm not even looking. And then the money grows. All I know is that consciousness goes and money grows, right? So as I'm conscious and aware of what it is that I want, what it is that I'm going after, the goals it is that I've set, the money that I have envisioned, the money that I imagine, the money that I want, it just tends to grow because I do the things necessary that bring that money into me. I give my gift to the world. I do things like this, right? So I'm not on here saying, hey, this will be $5 to watch me, or, to come take my class with me, and it'll be this much money or things like that. Absolutely. I have those things and they are there. But what I believe is speakers speak, coaches coach, mentors mentor. So I need to be at all times being who it is that I said I am. So I need to be able, and that to me is an opportunity to share. So if I am on here, I'm on here now periodically speaking, right? I get to speak to you about what it is that I love so much. You graciously share this time with me and tell me that it's of value to you because, thank you, Tracy. You tell me that it's of value to you because you show up every single time. It's how you give your gift to the world. And in order to receive, we live in a reciprocal world. As it rains, the sun shines. As it snows, the grass grows, right? Everything is cyclical. Everything is giving and receiving. We are a part of this earth. We have to do the same. Just as you have to be a good giver, and maybe I'll talk about this next time, guys, because I'm going to get out of here now. But just as you have to be a good giver, you have to be a good receiver. All right? Now, that's a whole nother topic that we're going to tackle another day. I appreciate your expertise in sharing. You're very welcome. You're very welcome. So that's a whole nother topic that we're going to share another day. Reciprocity. I'm going to keep that on my mind and remember to talk about that. So I know this was long and a roundabout way because I had so much on my mind and I wanted to say about this, but I definitely hope that you received the message and that you understand it. And yes, I look forward to whenever I can catch. Good. Yes, me too. Me too. It always makes me smile when I see you log on, Sandy. It's very nice and very warming. Yes, for you. Yes, it's very warming. Yes, you too, Tracy. I see you. Thank you so much. It's always very warming to see you all come on because I know that you don't have to do it. But what it also is this reinforcement that, Shirley, what you're doing matters. Because sometimes when the money isn't there, when the people aren't there, and when the clients are coming in like you like, sometimes you can start doubting yourself. And you can start thinking, am I doing this, right? Does anybody even care? So when you all show up here, it's no small thing for me. I'm just as happy to see you as you are to me. I'm grateful for that. So thanks so much because you all are not going to make me cry. Not today. No, but thank you so much for your time. I appreciate all the heart love and everything. I've been missing it. I have to catch up. Business is coming in and I'm grateful enough. Good for you. Good for you, second phase. Thank you. Much love to you, Tracy. Good. I'm so excited to hear that. Well, guys, thank you so much. I'm going to try and jump on tomorrow. But if not, for sure, I'll be back next week once we get those kids of mine back in school and I'm not ripping and running with them. So thanks so much for joining me. You all take care. Remember, it's time to move beyond everyone else's expectations of who you ought to be and become the woman you thought you could be. Bye.